Paths at the Arnold Arboretum are the arteries of the living plant collections. Paths welcome guests to explore the landscape while safely guiding and directing their travels. Paths also protect our valuable trees from erosion and soil compaction by keeping foot and small vehicle traffic away from root zones and planting beds. The Bridle path, once a highly valued thoroughfare, has long since declined in aesthetics. Today, Bridle Path and the adjacent Linden Path serve to connect two of the most popular sites at the Arboretum, the Lars Anderson Bonsai Collection and the Hunnewell Visitor Center. Revitalizing Bridle Path offered the opportunity to improve visitor access while also restoring areas damaged by poor traffic control and re-envisioning planting designs to better match the Arboretum's current curatorial values. We wanted our Bridle Path redesign to mesh well with the aesthetics of the rest of the Arboretum, so we took a trip to the archives in the library where we found accounts describing the path's original condition.
On April 8, 1928, the Boston Herald published an article about the new Bridle Path. It reads, "Before the forsythia lights up the hillsides with radiance of pale gold, the new bridle path that skirts the northwestern border of the Arnold Arboretum will have been completed, and the horsemen, and horsewomen too, will be cantering gaily along that delectable 2-mile-long link, which gives them access to the open country through a new and wonderful region." The historical accounts of Bridle Path tell us that its inception had been long petitioned for by riding enthusiasts. Bridle Path would provide a more direct route for travelers and a soft soil terrain for riders. Early administrations of the Arboretum had opposed this idea, as the Bridle Path represented a divergence from what Olmsted and Sargent had originally planned, which was curving pathways intended for observation of plants and leisurely taking in the landscapes they composed. Our intern project aims to honor the historical significance of Bridle Path while connecting the newly proposed design to the original vision of the Arboretum.
After a century of visitor traffic, the bare soil of Bridle Path was severely compacted. Air pockets in the soil were completely squeezed out, leaving a surface as hard as concrete. Several trees have also sustained damage from the path encroaching on their root zones. These problems demanded remediation, but first, we had to conduct a full investigation of the site. We took soil cores from areas beside Bridle Path and sent them into UMass labs for testing to make sure that there were no chemical anomalies which would affect our plantings. The test results came back showing healthy pH and nutrient content. It was fine to move ahead with our plans. Next, we focused our site investigation on the above-ground features, the trees, and the topography.
The device you see in the video is a hypsometer, which is used to measure the height or elevation of an object or location above a specific reference point. This valuable tool assisted us in recording the heights of various trees along our path, allowing us to estimate the extent of shade cover.
Mapping the site was crucial to the planning and communication of our design, as well as its future management. Combining hypsometer field recordings, GIS data, and satellite imagery, we were able to approximate a canopy model of the site using Rhino software. This model formed the basis of our shade study, which allowed us to identify pockets of dense shade, open sun, and all gradients in between for our planting plan.
We flagged plants to help us visualize our decisions in the landscape. Plants flagged blue were kept due to high curatorial value. White flagged plants were going to be removed outright since those plants may be repeated elsewhere in the Arboretum or not have been essential to the long-term collection policy. Plants flagged pink were up to our discretion. They could be removed due to spacing, health, and/or aesthetic issues. If a pink-tagged plant was slated for removal, repropagating or transplanting would be part of the process.
The greenhouse team took softwood cuttings for repropagation in early summer. This Lonicera tatarica, or Tatarian honeysuckle, was wild collected in Tajikistan. It's a high-quality lineage which must be preserved. The cuttings are then taken to the greenhouse, processed further, stuck in media, and put in the foghouse to root. Once the cuttings grow to be established plants in the greenhouse, the continuity of the lineage is guaranteed. At this point, the original plant can be removed and our design goals implemented on the landscape.
To start the removal process, we first cut back the stems of each plant into manageable pieces. This was done with pruners, handsaws, and chainsaws. The brush was then cleared out to make way for the stump removals with the dingo. A few larger trees were also slated for removal, and those were pieced down in segments using the Nifty Lift with the help of the arborist team.
The Toro Dingo skid steer was used for most of the 50-plus shrub removals. It's a versatile little machine that can be combined with over 35 different attachments. All the interns got a chance to use the backhoe attachment, which was one of the most fun learning experiences of the project. Manipulating 2 joysticks at once to control the backhoe boom and bucket is kind of like playing a video game in real life. We were uncertain at first if it would be up to the task, but most of the shrubs were uprooted with ease.
In total, we removed 63 accessions from the area around Bridle Path. Among the taxa removed were honeysuckles, dogwoods, hollies, honeysuckles, yews, and, oh yeah, more honeysuckles. Again, these removals were all deemed low value by the curation department. It's hard to say goodbye to so many plants, but their deletion revealed stunning view sheds and opened up space for the establishment of a new shade-loving shrub collection. All this new open space gave us room to envision a new route for Bridle Path.
The installation of the new path was an organized process that required over 100 yards of mulch. Mulch sourced from the Arboretum Material Yard is a combination of on-site woody material that gets chipped every Friday, as well as donations from local tree companies. The mulch was first staged in a pile on Meadow Road near the entrance of Bridle Path, where a bobcat continuously loaded the dump beds of a rotating circuit of 4 workman utility vehicles, which then shuttled the mulch to the new path's leading edge and dumped it, foot by foot. It was a coordinated effort, where the rhythmic up, stop, forward, dump it chant was heard all day long. As mulch was deposited, it was immediately raked out in order to make way for the next load. Over 1,000 linear feet of the new Bridle Path was mulched in a mere 2 days.
After laying the mulch, sections of the old, heavily compacted path were still visible, but we wanted to incorporate them into the new bed designs. In order to remediate the soil so it was fit for planting, the intern cohort decided to air spade. The air spade uses pressurized air to break up the soil into a fluffier consistency, increasing the pore space in the soil structure. Pore space facilitates penetration of plant roots and water and is necessary for soil and plant health. While air spading, soil, rocks, and other materials fly up, so we wore helmets, eye and face protection, and Tyvek suits. After air spading, we fortified the soil by topping it off with a few inches of rich loam.
Over the last 2 months, our efforts have completely transformed the Bridle Path. Our strategic shrub removals have opened up new views to Meadow Road, the Linden Collection, and the Leventritt Garden. The new mulch surface has greatly improved the safety and accessibility of the path, and future additions outlined in our planting plan will further improve the aesthetics of the landscape and help it cohere with designs seen in other parts of the Arboretum. We could not have done this without the expert mentorship of dozens of Arboretum staff members. Thank you all for making this project possible.